Hey everybody, this is Dave coming to you from the Gaming Cave. Tonight we're going to start our playtest of Skies of Victory from Virillion Games. This is a brand new release I'm playtesting. I did the first look at it. Now we're going to see if we can work our way through this and see how the game plays. I've got the board set up. We have the want to get the names right. We have the target board, which is up here. Then we have your launch board where all your flights are ready, where your flights will get through repair and refuel and all that stuff, and they'll get ready to go. We have a combat board over here, and then we have our turns, campaign points, victory points, production points, all that stuff. Got our markers set up. I've got all the counters cut. I've got them in here for random draws in their cups. It took me 4 cups for those. So I think we're ready to start the setup. And this is the base board, is the actual name for it. And so we'll let's get started with the setup. We actually have a player aid for the setup right here. Number of bombers, we roll a d10. Whatever it says, that's how many bombers we get. They'll go on to the ready area. So let's start with that. Being this is blue, I got a blue die. Let's see. I don't know if you'll still probably won't be able to see that real good, but we'll. At least you can see I rolled it. And we get a 5. All right, and a 5 is going to be 12 bombers. Well, I've got my bombers in here. Now, these are paper, so they're a little harder to pull out, but we'll just kind of shake them up and pull them out and take whatever we get here. 2, 3, 4, 5. Come on. This is the hard part with these little paper counters. Trying not to bend them all up. 5, 6, 7, 8. 9, 10, 11, and come on, one more. Here, oop, almost had it. Come on, gee whiz. Here it is, 12. All right. So I'm going to take these bombers and I'm going to put them in stacks where they're the same. This is a really good bomber, +2, +2, and 8. So I'm going to do that, and then I'll be right back. Wow, it's pretty amazing. My random draw, I only got one set of matched ones, the +107. All the rest of them have some difference to them, so that's cool. Goes to show, I guess I mixed them up pretty good when I was cutting them up. Okay, next is fighters. We're going to roll again, and we get a 10 this time. That's good. That's the best roll I could get for fighters. I get 7 fighters to start with. All right, here we go. 7 fighters. We got 1. Come on. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. He's the same. 4, 5. Hey, I got 7 right here. 6, 7, they're the same. Okay, there we go. There's my fighter groups. Got them all set there. So that's it for the fighters. Done with those. Now we do initial campaign points. Now here we need a good roll. And we got pretty good, 7. I'll take that. 7 on initial campaign points is 30. So up here we have a 10s marker that goes on the 3. And a 1s marker that stays on the 0. So I have 30 campaign points available for me. All right. Initial targets. We'll roll red for them because that's going to be the targets. All right. And we get a 3. Okay, that's good because that's less targets. So a 3 is 14. So there's going to be 14 targets. So in here, is this my target cup? Yep. So in this cup, I have all my targets. So I got to draw 14, and then we're going to have to place them. So we're going to see what we get here. I'm going to mix them up real good. Okay, here we go. Start drawing these out. We don't know where they're going to be at yet. 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Trying to make sure it's only 1. 9. Nope, there was 2 there. 10. 11. 12. 13. And 14. Okay. So the next thing I have to do is roll to see what zones all these targets are in. So I'll roll 1 and then I'm just going to do them and I'll come back so you don't have to be bored with this. So a 6. So this first one is in zone 6. So there's their first target. All right, so I'll go through there and then I'll show you what we got. Okay, 14 rolls. I never rolled a 9 or a 10. How about that? So nothing in the short range. That figures. Everything's mid-range, long range, and then 1 in the extreme range, which I can't reach yet. All right, so nothing here where I could really have at least a little bit of an advantage. I didn't get anything there. Okay, initial threats. We have to roll for this. We roll a 7. Okay, so a 7. Initial threats on a 7, that's a good roll, is 3. So there's only 3 initial threats. So this is initial threats are fighters and flat. So I got all these guys all down in here. So here comes the first one. Is a, come on, they're all stuck it together here. It's a flak. All right, open it up real good. Dig down in here, and this one is a flat. All right, here comes the next one. This one is a, come on, come out. Flak. 3 flaks, no fighters. Okay. And again, we roll to see where they go. This first one goes in zone 7. So he's over here. So I got a flak there. And I got a flak in zone 1, way up there. And I got a flak in, oh, zone 9. Now I roll a 9, figures. It's right here. Okay. The problem is he gets to shoot at me when I go across there unless I go eliminate him and kill the flak. Maybe I will, just to see if I can do away with those guys. All right. Okay, so I have campaign costs, so this is where I buy. I can buy a new bomb group, a new fighter group, a tech point, a bonus, replacement bomber, replacement fighter. And flight costs also. So here's where you start to pay for missions that you're going to fly. So I could buy things like a bonus or a tech point if I wanted a tech point. Tech points let me reach another zone. So right now my fighters can only reach zone 2. If I wanted to get them to reach zone 3, I got to get them a tech point. So I could spend 10 points and get me a tech point and increase my fighter range. At some point I'm going to have to buy one to increase my bomber range also. But for now, I think and then you can even increase twice on your bombers. You get +1 to hit as an increase. But first you got to get the range, then you got to get that. That's because it's a -1 to hit penalty way up there. But you get 2 victory points up in there, 1 here. Enemy units gain +1 on their initiative rolls. And medium range units, player units gain +1 on initiative. Okay, I think to start with, I'm going to spend, I don't know what I'm doing yet. We'll figure it out. I'm going to spend 10 points, drop me to 20, and I'm going to take a tech point, which is 1. And my tech point I can spend at a cost of 1, and I can increase my fighter's range up to range 3 now. So now they can reach zone 3, and my tech points will go back down to 0. Okay, so I did that. So that's it. That's my game setup. So now I have to determine flight costs. I did not buy any bonuses yet. I'm going to wait and see how this first mission goes to determine what I need to do. They don't have a lot of threats against me, so this is good. No fighters, but they could show up during the mission. So we'll see what happens, but I'll have a chance here to launch a couple of attacks and see what we can do, and maybe I'll go bomb these flak out if they're going to be shooting at me all the time and get rid of that threat. That's one thought. The other one is to start hitting these zones. So I'll be right back. I'm going to check, make sure I get this set up right here. Okay, so we're going to, the flak gets to attack me first. Now, this number says 2. He gets 2 attack dice, but he has attack modifier of -1, so it subtracts 1. Now, the question is he attacking the fighters in my flight or the bombers? So I have 2 bombers and a fighter, so we're just going to roll 1 die, and a 1 to 5, it'll be the fighter, otherwise it's one of the bombers. I guess really we should go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. If I roll 10, I got to re-roll. A 3. So he's actually firing at my fighter. Okay. He gets 2 attack dice, and my fighter has an 8 for his defense. So they have to have an 8 or higher to hit, and he's got a -1. So he rolls, and he gets a 2 and a 3. So he missed. So no damage to my fighters. So now I'm attacking. So my fighter's attacking here. He's going to attack first. He's a +1. And we go to this player aid. And this is my bomber and fighter combat chart. And this is air to ground. And it says I get attack dice. My damage is 0 on my plane, so I get 3 attack dice. My more experienced bomber in the 3 to 5 initiative row gets to attack the target. It isn't damaged, so referencing P1. Yeah, so that's the damage. So I don't have any damage, so he gets 3 attack dice. So let's see, what have I got here? I got another blue one. Oh yeah, I got lots of blue dice, so we'll get them out. Okay, got 3 blue dice. He has a 6. I need a 6 or higher to damage him, and I have a +1, which I believe is my modifier. I gotta look real quick just to make sure. I have a, come on. I'm going to have to talk to the designer and tell him to give us a player aid with all this stuff on it. Yeah, my attack bonus is +1, so I don't have to keep looking in the rule book. Here we go, +1. I get a 1. That's a 1. An unmodified 1 is an automatic miss no matter what. So that's a miss. I get a 2 + 1 is 3. That's a miss. I get a 7, so that's a hit. So I get to put 1 hit on the flak unit. So my first hit, I hit him. He has a 1 now. And he has an armor value. Enemy flak. Armors, however, may not. I think that is only for... I'm going to check. Okay, so the armor value is 2, so I got to get 2 hits to destroy it. Well, I didn't destroy it with my fighter, so here comes my bomber. This one here, he's the initiative. he gets +1. He has no damage. So he gets 6 attack dice. So I got 3, here's 6. I got 6 dice altogether. I'll just roll them all right here. I got 6 attack dice, and his armor value is a 2. And actually, if you're half of the armor value, it becomes a reduced target, but it's not reduced yet because I'm still attacking. I'm going to destroy this flat gun right here. I only need 1 hit now. Okay, I got a 10, an automatic hit, a 10, an automatic hit. Now I get +1 for my bomber and +1 because I'm in this short range, so I get +2. Those two are 2 hits. I have a 1, that's an automatic miss. 5 + 2 is a 7, that's a hit. 8 + 2 is a 10, 7. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hits right there. That's 6. 6 hits. It only took 2 to destroy it. So this armor is destroyed. So the armor comes off, and we'll go back into the cup. I'll keep my damage marker over here. And the other bomber didn't even have to bomb anybody. So that's it. Target 1 is complete. And I got, I got victory points. I don't know if there's any victory points for that guy. Let's see. Gotta look again on these counters. This is where it'd be handy just to have one page that shows you victory points. There is no special victory point value on this flat. So I got no victory points, but I eliminated the threat and it's no longer there. Okay. So it can't attack my other flight either. So target 1 is complete. And these guys, they go back on the board right here. It's flight 1. I didn't even have to re-roll, so their random event's going to come off. And they're going to be back. Okay, so no damage to those guys. All right, so now it's time to move again because we don't have anything. So these guys come back and they're back into their arrival. I can take my flight marker off of them now. Random event will go back in its cup, but I got all these guys are back. My 2 bombers and my fighter, they're all back. Okay, this flight moves up into this zone. All right, and we're going to have another combat right here. And we're attacking a target, and they have flak here. So again, we're going to roll for my flight. So flight number 2, I'll leave that marker there. I have a fighter and 3 bombers. So I intend to destroy this target. And we'll see how I'm learning this, right? Maybe I've sent too many for this target because it only has armor of 4. So I probably could have gone after one of these bigger targets and actually got myself some decent victory points. But that's okay. Here we are. And I'm hitting these guys now. So I got a threat and I got these guys, and the fighters could actually go after the flak if I don't have anything else there. Okay, so I'm going to check again. This target has a number on it, and I'm going to show you that number right here. And it has production points and it has threats. So you have to draw threats around this target. Okay. So first thing I do, and I believe I do that now because I have to understand what the threats are moving into this. Okay, here we go. Okay, we move in, designate target gets in the zone, randomly draw a random event counter. So drop this random event counter back into that cup, choose the bowl. We'll mix this up, and this flight here is going to get a random event counter, and it is event +1 initiative in a row. Okay, so I look on my random events, and it's called Agile. A random friendly unit gains +1 initiative row this turn. Okay, so one of these pilots gets +1 on his initiative. So I have fighter and 3 bombers. So that would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So here we go. I'm gonna roll. If I get 9 or 10, I'll re-roll. 10, of course I do. 6. So I said 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This bomber gets a +1 initiative row on his. So we're going to roll for his initiative, and it is +1. And he gets a 1. +1's a 2. +1 gets him up to a 3. Okay. Well, he survives that anyway. Man, okay, here goes my fighter initiative. It's a 0, and he gets 8. Nice. So my fighter's up there. He can do some help. Here comes this bomber. He's a +2. He gets a 5 +2's a 7. He's up there with the fighter. And this bomber's a +1. And he gets a 2. +1's a 3. So he's down there with the other guy. All right. I can throw that back in the cup. That's the initiatives. This flak has an initiative of -1. So we'll roll for it. And it gets 8. -1's a 7. So he's right here with my guys. Okay. All right. Then the zone threats get placed on the board. This target is going to get placed in the 0. And now we draw 2 threats. Each target, place the target counter to 0. Randomly draw threats for the target based on the target's threat value. So he's going to have 2 threats. Okay. They are, first threat is a fighter. And the second threat is, come on. Ah, here we go. Flak. Okay, so we got to roll for their placement. So this is for the flak. He's a -1. Ah. He gets 10. -1's a 9, so that flak's going to fire first. And then we have a fighter. He's a +1. He gets a 4. +1's a 5, so he's down here. Okay. All right. So we're going to have fighters engaging each other, and then we're going to have flak engaging each other. So because the fighter's not engaged yet, I take it this flak here could fire at him first. And if we have initiative in the same row, his example doesn't have that in there. Row in descending order. If an attack user has a higher initiative row than the defending, let's see. If the attacking unit and the defending unit are same initiative row, then combat is simultaneous and any damage is applied after all units fire. Okay. So these guys haven't engaged yet. He's going to fire at him. He can do that if the die so chooses. He takes a random target here. 1, 2, 3, 4. He gets a 2. He's firing at my fighter. Okay. His firepower, he gets 2 dice. He gets 2 dice. He's got to have an 8 or higher to hit. And no modifier. So 8 or higher. He gets, dang, I moved that one. It's a 9. He gets an 8 and a 9. So he scores 2 hits. There we go. And so my fighter just took 2 hits. Right there. Okay. Now we're here. And so I've got fighter, bomber, and flak. And they all attack simultaneously. So I'm going to roll the flak first and let him do his thing. He gets 1 attack die and he's a -1. His target choice is of the 4. So he's going to rolls a 7. So that would be this bomber. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that's who he's firing at. He needs a 7 or higher. He gets a 4 and -1's a 3. So he does no damage. All right. All right. So I got a fighter and my bombers. My fighter's going to attack his fighter. Okay, so I have fighter combat, air to air, and I have 2 damage points, so I get 3 attack dice. So I get 3. I have 3 attack dice, and I'm attacking his fighter. I need a 7 or higher, and I have a +1 modifier for my hits. And I get a 2 +1's a 3, that's a miss. I get an 8, that's a hit. 3 +1's a 4, that's a miss. So I hit his fighter with 1 damage. And he'll get to fire. He's in a different row, so he doesn't get to, that is going to affect him. And then he gets, my bomber's attacking this right here. So my bomber has no damage. He's doing air to ground, so he has 6 damage, 6 dice. He rolls all 6 of these dice, and his armor is 4, and his 5 or higher to hit. Okay, a 4. And does he have? He has +2, so that's a 6. That's a hit. Hit number 2. Hit number 3. Automatic miss. Hit number 4. Hit number 5. So 5 hits, we destroyed the production facility. So we destroyed the whole thing. It's done. Okay. Now we go. This row is done. Now we have these guys here. So this fighter can attack. He's going to roll to see who he engages the fighter first. So he's engaging here. He gets 1 die. And he's +1. Against my fighter, he needs a 7. He gets a 7 +1's an 8. So my damage went to 3. Okay. My damage marker is now 3. So he's going to have 3 damage points. Okay, now my bombers can attack these flak units. And I'm going to let them do that. So they're going to get all 6 dice. I'm going to see if I can eliminate this flak. I want this one first. It's the one that was in the zone. So we're attacking here. We got a +1. And I need 2 hits. Well, there's an 8 and a 9. 2 5s +1s are 6s. So we eliminated that flak unit. There's no victory points with it, but it's gone. This other one was with the production center, so it won't be there anyway. Neither will that fighter. So I did not destroy the fighter, and there was no victory points attached to him. He goes back in the cup. This flight comes back home now. So I have 3 bombers with no damage. 1, 2, 3 bombers will make it back into their area. And I have a fighter with damage on him, 3 damage points. So he took a lot of damage. So he's going to have to sit it out. and see what happens. Okay, that, and then I get victory points for that target, and those victory points is this top number right here. So I get 4 victory points for destroying that. So there goes 4 right there. 4, boom. All right, and we eliminated that production center. So I'm gonna set him off to the side. Okay, so the last thing is post-combat. Okay, roll for additional targets. End of turn. Total of the value of all enemy targets that are not reduced. The enemy gains 1 PP per target for non-special targets, 2 PPs for special targets, and a variable amount of PBs for production centers. 1 for non-special, 2 for special. And the way we tell that is special targets have a diamond up here on the left. Okay, so 1 for non-special, 2 for specials, and a variable amount for production centers. Production centers have production points in the diamond. Yeah. So he gets 4. I'm going to count them first. 7, 9. Okay. Then my other ones are singles. So I have 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. He has 19 production points. Add this total to the enemy's existing production points on the production point tracker. So he has a 10 and a 1 is 19. So he has 19 production points. Okay. Turns 1 through 9, roll for additional targets. We roll a 10-sided die. And I get a 4. And we look at A1. Layer A to A1. Additional targets. Turn 1, roll modifiers a 4. It's a -4, and I rolled a 4, so that's a 0. So a 0, number of targets is 6. What? He gets 6 more targets? Oh my goodness, that's bad. And determine the number of additional targets that will get added to the target board. So I have to add 6 targets to the target board. 6 targets. So 6 more targets are going to get added to the target board. Okay, so I eliminate 1, they get 6 more, which is going to increase their production points. So he gets 1, 2, 3. 3 more production centers. 4, 5, 6. Okay. So I got to roll and place them. All right, so I added those guys, filled these guys up, and put 2 in the short range. So we've got some targets that have shown up now in the short range zone. Okay. Base adjustments. We move all the units involved in combat this turn along with any newly purchased bombers or fighters from the arrive return on the base board to the repair refuel. Well, they just arrived or returned from there to there, For turn 10, we do point conversions. We're not there yet. Okay. I think that's it. So my guys just flew in. And that says, I'll read that again. Move all the units involved in combat this turn, along with any newly purchased bombers or fighters from the arrive return box to the baseboard, on the baseboard to the repair refuel box on the baseboard. So these guys just returned. It doesn't make sense that they would move there already. So I'm going to leave them here, and hopefully the designer will look at this and tell me if I messed that up or not. It doesn't make sense that they would return and then immediately be in the repair refuel. That's going to make them come back really quick. Maybe that's the intent. We'll find out. Okay, so this was set up and one turn. We're going to be moving to turn 2, and I believe the sequence of play becomes advance the turn counter, enemy production improvement phase. We'll go through that. We do the sabotage. Player improvement, we gain 10 CPs to your campaign point total. And okay, so I'm going to get 10 CPs, which is going to put me at 20. And I don't know, it doesn't seem like we're gaining many CPs here to be able to get ahead of this thing. So I'm going to look through this and make sure that I'm not missing something on campaign points. All right, we're going to call that first look, first playthrough. You kind of get a chance to see what's going on with the game. There's a lot of little interesting things, I think, going on. So hopefully you're at least getting a little taste of it anyway. And like I said, we'll do some checking, make sure I played things right, and then I'll be back for another turn. All right, if you're new to the channel, please subscribe, and as always, give me that thumbs up and like the video. All right, I'll see you guys later.